Subscribe to my channel for interesting stories.
Story 1. Read this if you're lonely. When I was 12 years old, I had a friend who lived next to me. I always went to their home and played with him. I liked him. He was my only friend, a true friend, because we were like brothers. We did everything together. Then he met another friend who I didn't really like, but still we played together and stuff. Little by little, my best friend started to show aggression against me, sometimes treating me bad. After I was 12 years old, he made a lot of friends. He used to be famous around them. We used to play football with them. Days have passed, and whenever I go to his home, I don't find him. His mother tells me he is hanging out with his friends. Days passed, and still, I went to his home, and I don't find him. He is hanging out with his friends. She says, and I said to myself, am I not his friend? Why does he not invite me with them? Do they hate me? Does he hate me? Days have passed, and I am 18 years old. I rarely get to see him. I was so alone. I had depression because I loved company. I used to think about him every single day. Sometimes I go to his home, and his mother tells me that he went with his friends to the beach, to park, cinema, football games, to play video games. I had enough. I was convinced that my biggest fear has become real. I am alone. I have noon. Being kind with everyone made me suffer loneliness. Going to social media and see everyone have fun with their friends was hell. And so I decided to change. I was 19 years old. It as when I decided to take swimming courses, hitting the gym with my cousin, being social in college, working with my father, made me get rid of depression. I didn't have anyone then except a lot of fake friends, which was okay. At least I'm not alone anymore. Then something really bad happened to me. It really broke me. My dream then was to go with a group of friends to a beach. I waited for night. I sat down, and I, for the first time ever, asked God for something I never thought I'd ask from him. I prayed and asked him for good friends. Not 2 days later, everything had changed. My life turned 360 degree. Couple friends from the gym invited me to play a game called The Wolf Hunting. About 20 teenagers play that game then. When I went there, I had no experience. We played daily. I had made a lot of friends. A lot. They are not fake. I even went to the beach with them. No joke. They never betrayed me, and I am so thankful for it. Ask God for a silly thing, and it will happen. God does exist. I now have countless of friends. It's crazy, and I am glad to say that I couldn't care less about my OG best friend. I don't care about him at all, just like he didn't. You are not alone. You are better than you think you are. You have to act and ask for God's assistance, and it will surely will happen. Go watch motivational video. Go watch Liz Wizard. She made me have so much confidence in myself. Go hit the gym. If your friends betrayed you like me, go find another friends. You don't deserve them. You deserve better. Story 2. Animal stories. I don't know quite why I like scary stories featuring animals so much. I'm not an animal person per se. We have a cat. I don't pet her nonstop and kiss her, but I do understand what she is thinking and saying, and she speaks through me to my children. They love that, although they are also mildly creeped out by it. I think, more than the animals themselves, the way they are intruders into our organized man-made world, little aliens with different prompts and motives and ideologies, mingling and mixing with us. Our paths cross. The cats, the crows, the mice, the rats, the dogs, the raccoons, watching us, coming up to us, and then backing away. The strange, the wonderful, and the scary can happen in those encounters. Animals are a firm favorite of human storytelling, of course. Aesop's fables and old myths and legends. Disney, Donald Duck, and Scooby. We have always been fascinated by the animals among us and around us, and how we can use them to tell our tales even better, make them shine and sparkle. Anyway, the point is, I love scary animal stories, and if you do too, check out the sub of the same name. And if you have short, scary stories featuring animals, you are welcome to post there. Story 3. 1 week from now, I'm going to text my crush. After 1 year of waiting, I met my crush at work. She was a client, and in a weird turns of events, I got her number. For context, I've never had a relationship and I'm not a good-looking guy, but she's stunning in every way possible. So when she gave me her number, I couldn't believe it and thought she was just being nice. Turns out she wasn't, at least I think she wasn't, because she engaged in the conversation and seemed genuine. I asked her out and she agreed. During our date, she told me she wasn't feeling ready to start a new relationship because hers ended a month prior. I kind of expected it, but she said she wanted to keep knowing each other since we had so much in common and good chemistry, and I agreed to that. After our first and only date, she started to change. She didn't text me first and gave dry answers, so I asked if there was something wrong, and she told she didn't feel it was right to keep going as friends. I asked if I did something wrong, but she said no, I didn't know what to say. So I accepted her decision and basically told her, good luck with everything. She did the same. Almost a year went by and I still think about her. So I decided that next Sunday I'm going to text her and see how it goes. I tried to just move on, but she seemed so perfect. And I feel that I didn't get a closure to this story. Now every time I see a girl, I just automatically compare them to her and she always wins. Wish me luck, guys. Story 4. The day I stood up for my break rights at work. I want to share a wild story from my days working as a shopper for online orders. You know, those hectic days where every minute counts and you're juggling more tasks than you can handle? Well, this one takes the cake. So, picture this. It's a year and a half ago, and I'm knee-deep in a crazy workday. Back-to-back orders, non-stop hustle. I'm scheduled from 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., and by mid-afternoon, I'm already feeling the burn. The lead suggests I take my lunch break before she leaves, and I'm grateful for the breather. Fast forward a few hours, and I'm scrambling to squeeze in at least one 15-minute break amidst the chaos. Finally, things calmed down at 6 p.m. with just one tiny order left. But here's the kicker. There are only 3 of us left in the department, and guess who gets stuck with the last order? Yup, yours truly, but hold up. I haven't even taken my 15-minute break yet. When I mention it, the facilitator gives me this incredulous look and tries to tell me I don't get one after lunch. Seriously? I thought he was pulling my leg, but he was dead serious. Despite the misunderstanding, I take the order, determined to make time for my break later. Cut to 6:15 p.m. I'm back from the order, ready to take my well-deserved break. But the facilitator tries to stop me, saying I can't take another break. Excuse me? I know my rights. We have a little back and forth, and he threatens to bring it up to management. Next day rolls around and bam. I'm getting pulled into a room with the manager and the facilitator. They hit me with a write-up, claiming I broke company policy by taking my break on my own terms. I'm fuming, but I keep my cool and try to explain that I'm entitled to my break. Turns out they're quoting some bogus paper that says breaks need approval. But guess what? That's not what I was told when I signed up for this gig. Plus, when I checked the handbook later, it didn't say what they claimed. Talk about shady, right? From there, things get tense between me and the facilitator. He tries to stop me from taking my lunch the next day, but I'm not having it. I stand my ground, even if it means ruffling some feathers. But here's the silver lining. After a chat with HR and the store manager, they agree with me. The write-up gets revoked, and I walk out feeling vindicated. So, moral of the story, know your rights, folks. Don't let anyone mess with your breaks, no matter how busy things get. And hey, sometimes standing up for yourself pays off big time. Thanks for tuning in, and remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more crazy work stories like this one. Story 5, Help, my BF 23. Seems distant. Lately, I could really use some advice right now. I'm a 20F, and I've been dating my BF, who's 23, for about a year now. Everything was going great at first. We had that honeymoon phase where we couldn't get enough of each other. But lately, things have been feeling off, and I'm not sure what to do. It all started a few weeks ago when I noticed he seemed more distant than usual. He used to text me all the time, shower me with affection, and make plans for us to hang out. But now it's like pulling teeth to get him to respond to my messages, and when we do hang out, it feels like he's somewhere else mentally. I've tried talking to him about it, asking if everything's okay, but he just brushes it off, saying he's stressed with work or tired from lack of sleep. And while I get that life can get hectic sometimes, it feels like there's something more going on, like he's pulling away from me. I've racked my brain trying to figure out what could be causing this sudden change in behavior. Did I do something wrong? Is he losing interest in me? Is there someone else? The uncertainty is eating me up inside, and I don't know how to approach the situation without making things worse. I love him, Reddit. I really do. But I can't shake this feeling of unease. I want to talk to him and get to the bottom of what's going on, but I'm scared of what I might hear. What if he tells me he doesn't feel the same way anymore? What if he's been hiding something from me? So, here's my question for you. How do I navigate this situation with my BF? How do I approach him about my concerns without pushing him further away? And most importantly, how do I find out what's really going on in his heat? Any advice or insight you can offer would be greatly appreciated. Story 6. Should I cut ties with my best friend? I'm in a bit of a tough spot right now and could really use some advice. So here's the deal. I've been best friends with a 20M since we were kids. We've been through everything together, the highs, the lows, you name it. But lately, I've been questioning whether our friendship is really healthy for me anymore. Don't get me wrong, he's a great guy. He's funny, supportive, and we've shared countless memories together. But here's the thing, he's also incredibly toxic. He has this way of making me feel small and insignificant, like I'm not good enough. He's always quick to criticize me, point out my flaws, and make me doubt myself. I've tried talking to him about it, telling him how his words and actions affect me, but it's like talking to a brick wall. He either brushes it off like it's no big deal or turns it around on me, making me feel like I'm the one at fault. And the worst part is, I find myself making excuses for him, convincing myself that maybe I'm just being too sensitive or overreacting. But deep down, I know this isn't healthy. I shouldn't have to constantly second-guess myself or walk on eggshells around my best friend. I should feel uplifted and supported, not torn down and belittled. And yet, every time I think about cutting ties with him, I can't help but feel guilty. After all, we've been through so much together. He's been there for me when I needed him most, and I don't want to throw away our friendship lightly. But at the same time, I can't ignore the toll it's taking on my mental health. So, what do you think? Should I bite the bullet and end things with my best friend? Or should I try to salvage our relationship? Has anyone else been in a similar situation? Any advice or insights you can offer would be greatly appreciated. Thanks for listening.